Hello everyone. In this video we are going to solve the problem where we have to find the middle of the linked list. It is an easy rated problem on LinkedIn, but let's see how to solve it uh, in naive and optimized way. So let's first understand the problem where we have given a head of a singly linked list and return the middle node of the linked list. And if there are two middle nodes, we have to return the single middle node of the linked list. What do we mean by the middle and the single middle node here? So here let's see if we have five number of elements, which is odd number of elements, then here we have to return n is equals to 5, return n by 2 plus 1, which is 5 by 2 plus 1, which is 5 by 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have to return 3 here. And now if we have even number of element, let's say n is 6, then we have to return n by 2 plus 1, which is 6 by 2 plus 1, which is 6 by 2 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. We have to return the second middle element. Otherwise, the first, if they would have asked us the first middle element, it would be simply n by 2. So now let's solve it. One naive way of solving it would be to simply traverse the linked list, find out the length of the linked list, and out of that length of the linked list, return the middle element. Let's solve it. Let's first cover the edge cases. If head is null or head dot next is null, what we will do, we will simply return head, because in that case, in case of nully specified linked list, it will have no element as the middle. If it will have only one element, it will, the first element will be the middle. Uh, so yeah. Yes. So in that case, now let's move ahead. Let's calculate the length of the linked list. It will be by, let's create a dummy node, a variable pointing to our head, and play with that. If null is not equals to a null, we'll let's define a variable n and specify it 0. This will store the length of the linked list. We'll move the temp to the next and keep on increasing the length of the linked list. So how it will work, it first temp is pointing to 1 here, and then will since it is not null, it will point to second here, and by this n will become 2 here, and 3, 4 and 5. Now let's say, yeah. Yeah. So now we have got the length. Let's calculate the middle. Middle will be n by 2 plus 1. Let's assign again variable which is equals to the 1, and temp again pointing to head. Yk is equals to 1, which means we have calculated how many node 1 here. Why? Because temp is pointing to the head, the node number 1. Will move until k is not equals to 1. Will move until we reaches a point where k is equals to middle, or we will reach the middle of the linked list. So we'll move dot next, and here we will increase the k and return temp, which is pointing to our middle element. Let's run it, and it has run. Let's take odd even both as example. It is running. Let's submit it. It is running. Now let's do what, let's see if we can optimize it. So there is no, before that let's discuss the time complexity actually. So what is the time complexity of it? The time complexity is, it is running till the length of the array, and here we are going to the middle of the array n by 2, but here we are going to the n. So it is going to be time complexity going to be order of n. Are we using any extra space? We are using no, constant 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 constant, so we are not using any extra space, so space complexity is order of 1. So can we utilize it? So yes, there is a way where we do not have to use these two loops. We would be done with using only one loop. So what's that way? Let's first see if we can find get the intuition for that approach. Let's see if we have two pointers. Let's name those pointers as turtles and rabbit. The first pointer, turtle, is pointing to 1 here, and a rabbit is pointing to 1 again. But so turtle is pointing to 1, and hang on, turtle, pointer number 1, turtle is pointing to 1, and rabbit is pointing to again 1. Turtle will move at the speed of move with speed one node at a time. Now rabbit, as the name, you know, is saying a lot. Rabbit will move faster. Now rabbit will move twice the speed of turtle. So turtle is moving one node at a time, which is yes. So turtle will move with with speed 2, which means 2 node at a time. So if turtle is starting at 1, next turtle will move to 2. By this time, rabbit will move to 3. Turtle will move to 3. Rabbit will move to 5. Turtle will move to 4. Rabbit will move to 7. So yeah. So how with this intuition we can solve this in with one loop only. Let's write it. Let's say let's define those two um, variables. Turtle will be pointing to head, rabbit pointing to head again, and will keep on going until our rabbit will either be null and rabbit dot next is null. When will rabbit dot next will null? So in case of even, it will move from 1 to 3 through 5. So rabbit dot next will be null. In case of 1 to 3 to 5 to 7, rabbit will be null. So both we are checking here, and yeah, and we'll move turtle with the speed of turtle dot next, and rabbit with the speed of rabbit dot next. Okay, uh, and this will return the turtle. Let's run it and then I'll explain you. Okay, it is returning false. Let's see why is it returning false. Head, okay, sorry, it is not moving with the speed, it is moving with the same speed. Yeah, it is running fine. So let's see, understand further more about it. By this time, let's say turtle is at first position. uh, Again, where will our rabbit be again at first position? If turtle is at second position, our rabbit will be at what, third position. So you see, if we have if our rabbit is at turtle is at three position, it will move from uh, 5. Okay, so you can say this rabbit is the double of turtle, is at the position double of the turtle. And what is middle is basically half of length, right? And half of length, so if my length is x, middle will be the half of that. So here you can see if my rabbit is reaching at 5, the turtle is reaching at half plus 1. If my rabbit is a 7 here, it will be 4 here. So 7 by 2 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. So At every step the rabbit is reaching at the x position, where turtle will be x at the position x by 2 plus 1. So with this intuition we'll always get the, so turtle will be always at the middle of the position where rabbit is. Now we are checking once rabbit will become null or rabbit dot next will become null, we'll just stop right away. It means that we have reached the end of the linked list, and we have got the length, we have covered the length of the linked list. So which means turtle will be at the middle, and hence turtle is the middle element. Now let's submit it. It is working fine, and yeah. So what is the time complexity? Time complexity is still order of n. Space complexity is order of 1, but we are using only one loop here. So thank you very much.